Federal government begins construction of 250 housing units in Ibadan. Stable power supply depends on tackling vandalism, power theft, says Adelabu. Nigerian government targets conversion of 1 million vehicles to CNG by 2027. Adeleke tells federal government, don't make students' loan a debt trap. Sanwo-Olu assures stakeholders of conducive business environment. And on hunger, Senate in panic debate, fears attack, seeks solution. Senators to federal government follow due process, halt scrapping of video censors board. Still on the local scene, bill to introduce diaspora voting scales second reading in the House of Representatives. Reps reject Samoa agreement, says ask federal government to halt implementation. Still on the House of Representatives, reps move forward with bill to enhance women's representation. And on with health salaries, SANU NASU members stage nationwide protest. Minimum wage struggle not dead. Tinubu still consulting with Labour, others, says Osifo. An inquiry state, Kwasu expels 175 students for exam malpractices, others. Moving on to the foreign scene, Tanzanian artist who burns president's picture freed. UK Prime Minister Starmer jets off to Washington on first foreign trip. Australian government announces new minimum wage as Nigerian government delays on pay increase. Death toll from Indonesia landslide rises to 23. Moving into the world of sports, CAF Interclub draws hold Thursday in Cairo. And lastly, in the world of sports, Shakira to perform at 2024 Copa America final. And those are the major headlines making the rounds in the news today. It was compiled and edited by Abiodu Akiumi. For sponsorship or advert placement, kindly contact our sales and marketing office on 091-2929-4332 or 91-2929-4332. Coming up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have an in-depth analysis on some of the topical stories making the rounds in the news. Don't forget you can follow us by logging on to any of the Diamond FM online platforms, our website www.diamondfm.net, or keep up to date with us via all our social media pages at Diamond 887 FM on Instagram and on Facebook, and at Diamond FM Ilorin on YouTube. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. The Diamond Breakfast Show commences shortly.
In this country, I don't lose hope. Oh my God, jackpot.
Leaving the country may not be the solution that you think it is. Don't make leaving Nigeria the only solution to your life's challenges. Japa because you want to, but stop raising it as a solution to national issues that you can work on and fix. Nigeria will always be your home, and together we can make it better.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my
business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Why not kill us for Nigeria? Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? I mean, this is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Everyone, welcome to you. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning right here in the city of Ilorin, and you're tuned in and listening to Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show. This is where we take a look at some of the analysis of some topical stories making the rounds in the news. We dissect the stories in the studio, and then we open up our platforms to you to also contribute your quota to the discussion this morning. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman, and I'm your host on the Wednesday edition of the Diamond Breakfast Show. This morning, the show promises to be a bumper package as we have lots of stories to talk about this morning. We will talk about that with our guest in the studio, and then we will open up our platforms to you to also contribute. You can join us on Facebook. We're live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. You can drop your comments via these platforms, and we will get to them in a bit. We'll also be giving out the phone lines where you can reach us, and also the WhatsApp line where you can send in an SMS or a WhatsApp message. Don't forget that while you're given your reactions to these issues, please ensure that your comments are constructive. They're devoid of any form of derogatory statements or false statements on this platform. It will not be tolerated. Welcome to the Diamond Breakfast Show. And today we'll be taking a look at a couple of issues ranging from the establishment of a new livestock development ministry, its essence, its the expectations. We'd also take a look at the bill seeking to give women a special seat in the parliament, which has passed second reading. And finally, we'll talk about the fuel scarcity situation in Nigeria, something we feel or something Nigerians expect to have been a thing of the past, but we still see that we're still having this issue and would like to find out what exactly is going on and what can be done. My guest is already in the studio with me. I have Dr. Olaifa Adesheko Sunday. He's an erudite scholar, he's a social commentator and a public affairs analyst. A very good morning to you, Doc.
Very good morning. Thank you for having me again.
All right, good to have you in the studio this morning. Let's quickly go straight into business. The first story we're taking a look at is the creation of the new Ministry of Livestock development in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has established a new Ministry of Livestock Development following the recommendation of the National Livestock Reforms Committee. The decision aims to address the long-standing conflict between reserves and between farmers and herders by implementing sector-focused solutions, including grazing reserves and better resource management. The committee, led by former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, highlighted the need for the ministry to manage the complexities of various herding practices and improve the sector's productivity, reducing Nigeria's dependence on imported livestock products. However, the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria have praised the move by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, emphasizing its potential to boost employment and economic growth. But Laolu Akonde, former aide to ex-vice president Yemi Osinbajo, questioned the necessity of a new ministry, suggesting that effectively implementing existing policies that we have on ground, like the National Livestock Transformation Plan, could resolve the issues without adding additional bureaucratic structures. Now, these are reactions that we've had to the establishment and the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development. Let me first take your reaction to this. Is it good news or not?
Well, thank you. Sometimes when you hear another policy by the government, one will now be convinced whether you start jumping up for a very good step taken, or probably thinking about the cost implication of what that actions will resort to. I want to quickly commend the administration for at least taking a step towards solving a problem. That's an attempt. It's better than the past administration that will sit down and then look as if nothing is happening. It's a good step, a good direction. It's just that I am of the opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion, like I used to say on this program. People will say, why did you say this on the program? I am entitled to my opinion. Like I feel that just like some other people observed, creating another ministry for rearing animal and grazing animal is just a repetition of what should have been a sole responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture, for example. This is a bottleneck now that will now require spending another extra money, having a minister that head the ministry, creating, the offices to include all other protocols down from the secretary to the permanent secretary and all that. And that will mean, increase administrative costs for the government. We are saying there's no money, and even the normal minimum wage that we are saying they should pay staff, people that are saying, this money is too much, the government may not be able to afford it. And yet we are adding, additional burden to the concurrent expenditure again, so that it doesn't make so much sense to me. I think a section of a commission or a parastatal that will be attached to the Ministry of Agriculture can be created to look into this. It's not a big deal to arrange the country into how there will be peace between the farmer and the worker. A lot of countries are doing that. They have designated places for all that. I think it's a huge project that they're about to start, and it's not worth the,
all right,
the
but
price.
However, you mentioned that having a commission instead would work, but that would also include a lot of these things that you have mentioned.
If you look at commission or parastatal, it's not like starting up a ministry. Imagine Ministry of Health, for example. You will now have every protocols that the ministry deserves from the very top to the ground.
Okay.
And that's like spending unnecessary money. We can have an agency, for example, that will take care of this aspect, and the agency will now be attached to the Ministry of Agriculture. That will now mean that the arrangement, their budget will not be separate. It's attached to the ministry, and it's not that you are going to it's not as if you are going to have every other thing created for them newly.
All right, now let's take a look at the potentials of this new creation. What are the what are the outcomes that we expect from this particular ministry? Some people have mentioned the creation of employment. Some have mentioned ending farmers' herders' crisis. What other things do you think could come out of having this ministry?
Creation of employment on the burden of the already weakened government civil service neck is what I'm not in support of. Right. But if we have creation of employment out of the creativity of what that ministry is bringing, for example, when communication started in Nigeria with Obasanjo bringing in phones. We have a lot of people self-employed, either selling parts of the phone or selling recharge cards or selling phone itself and all that, and even the services that surrounds it. If we have, things like that, subsidiary, employment generation coming out of that ministry is okay. It will at least get people engaged, especially at the primary agricultural level like that we need so much labor. But the truth is that if we say, I've not studied the old template of the ministry and probably the statutory role that they're supposed to play, but I'm wondering the practicability of how they are going to arrange the country in such a case that we now have those things on ground within a short period of time that will solve the problem. That's why I said it's better for them to have started as, a commission or an agency, and then understudy what the problem is before we now, graduate them to a big ministry that the country can finance. Beautiful ideas and, good intentions, but the problem is, do we have the capacity for implementation of these things, especially judging with the limited resources that the government is always saying that there's no money for this, there's no money for that? Because I want to believe this is going to be capital intensive in terms of the amount of money. I want to quickly make a reference to the newly established ministry of recent. Every newly established ministry of, not like the old ones that were Ministry of Works, Health, Education, and all that. Take a look at Ministry of Humanitarian, blah, 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 blah. The essence of that ministry was to take care of the woman well-being. And you see, that has now been a source of money, stealing, a loophole to take public fund. And that's why I'm happy that the woman in charge has now been asked to come and give account of what the money for. How effective will this implementation of these policies of this ministry be? That's the question on the lips of every Nigerian. That will they be up to the task? The real very reason for establishing that ministry, will they be able to live up to that expectation, and for how long, within what limited time will they deliver? And that's the problem. If we have the policy on ground and say, okay, well, let's arrange this thing, and we still have communal fight, and we still have Fulani cows going into this thing, disturbing the farmers, then we have a long way to go. It's still not the perfect answer to what we are looking for.
All right. Now let's quickly take a look at our the livestock business in Nigeria at this point. Where are we at the moment, and where are we expected to be, or what do we need to do to be at par with other countries at this point in time?
Well, the problem with let me pick a cattle rearing for example. One major problem is that probably that's where the problem will start. If we can do a clear demarcation, this is the area where you can go to. There's a limit to where you can go. These are farming areas. They are no go areas because they are both doing business, and you cannot use one person's business to affect the other. Everybody has the right to protect his own businesses. So we now have that. You will go only to this area. These are the zones where you can rear animal, and then these are the areas that are no-go area. They are the farming area where the farmers are allowed to stay. And then just talking about security, we can now say, okay, let's be for the security of those areas where the farmer are to stay, since they are running away from the bush, that they are being terrorized by bandits and cattle area. So let's have those areas demarcated. We can have zones. In other countries, they have zones. We have industrial zones. We have residential areas where you cannot build industry because of the health implications to people around that place. If we have it done in Nigeria too, I don't see why it's not going to work.
All right. So you see grazing reserves as
of course
to solve the problem.
It will work. It will work.
All
it
right.
will work.
All right. We'll take some reactions when we come back from this break, but we need to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking your calls. You can call us on 0913655 6952 0913655 6952. You can also send us messages via SMS or WhatsApp 091 3655 6864. This stay with us. The Diamond Breakfast Show continues shortly.
The Access Holdings rights issue is now open. For every 2 ordinary shares in your portfolio, take advantage of the chance to acquire 1 more at 19 naira 75 kobo each between 8th of July to the 14th of August 2024. We're inviting you to take up your rights in full in the Access Holdings rights issue. Visit www.theaccesscorporation.com to find important information about our rights issue, such as the rights circular, issuing houses, receiving banks, and legal advisors. Access Holdings, where the world connects.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Welcome back from that short time out. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from our studios, Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. We will take reactions now. Please ensure that your reactions are short and precise so we can attend to a lot of calls and reactions today. 0913-655-6952. That is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Yemi Ansagi. I'm calling from Ilorin.
All right, good to have you on the show, sir. Go
I
ahead.
say good morning to our guest.
Thank you, sir.
You see, the new ministry is a welcome development,
All right.
provided the right people with the right attitude are deployed to manage the new ministry. You see, what the implementation will cost is not up to what is required to fight the menace that is responsible for exclusion. If that is what is needed,
He is entitled to his opinion, but it's just that if we say a ministry is already dead, one of those key ways by which we can kick that ministry off is by bringing some part of that department of that ministry up. If this role, this responsibility is given to that Minister of Agriculture, I want to believe that it will be a kick-off for them because they actually do not have serious activities that they are going through.
All right.
I don't think they have it.
All right, let's take this one. All right, call us back 09136556952 or 0800887 Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from.
All right, good to have you on the show, sir. Go ahead.
Along with your guest. There's no need for any issue. What is happening is even beyond farmer problem now. It has become a serious insecurity. Where somebody who was rearing animal and getting maybe 10,000 naira a month can now go into the forest, kidnap somebody and get millions of naira. So that ministry is not necessary at all. At most, a department in the Ministry of Agriculture, which can be manned by even just the director. Because if you seriously want to, people to go into livestock, this thing, it's not the way those people are doing, and now turning it to a very big insecurity. What they should do about this farmer so-called something is to ensure that the military, they are well equipped, the security operatives are well equipped. Then the governors too, they have roles to play when it comes to this livestock and other farming this thing. It's raining now. The governors are getting more than enough allocations. Nothing is going on. Now they are talking of waiving tariff and taxes on importation. How long will that last? It's not necessary.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bamdelege. Thank you for calling. We have this reaction here. This one says, good morning. I concur with your guest that we are very wasteful in this country. There is no need for another ministry. It means an addition to the already bloated financial burden. At times, we think upside down in this country. This is Adeyemo Aliyu from Ofa. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Ben from Italeta.
All right, Mr. Ben. Go ahead. Let's get your reaction.
Okay, man. So, my regards to the analyst in the studio.
Thank you.
I think in Nigeria, the previous ministries we have, we are not able to manage them well. So, creating additional ministries, I think, is a way of adding to our problems. Because the ministry like the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs has not been managing well. Ministry of Power has not been, and other ministries that have been created before now. So if their aim of creating this ministry is to manage farmers' headers clash, that cannot be, because government can openly ban open grazing, that's movement of cow, and it will solve the problem of farmers' headers clash.
All right.
So I don't think this ministry is necessary. So thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you for your reaction. Thank you so much. This one says, morning everyone, how was your night? According to history, most local governments in Nigeria have grazing oversight. Why don't the federal government partner with states to recover this oversight and apportion to Fulanis, and it should be headed, I guess, by a commission and not ministry. Enough of unnecessary ministry creation.
Yeah, I was even of the opinion that in other countries where they restrict the movement of these animals into one place, is it that those animals don't have enough grass to eat, or there's an alternative to the grass that they are eating? If there's an alternative, then I expect that ministry to find out through research and then bring this food in a cheaper way to the country, sell it at a very, the concern of these cattle areas is just simple. They need to feed their animal to the point where they will get, healthy and good for sales. So if we can solve that problem of, them moving from one place to another, what they are looking for is food. If the food can be in a particular place where they are located, there's no problem. I mean, there's no point moving around from one place to another and causing havoc in the country.
All right. 0913655695 to let's take one last call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, and the guest in the station. Good
Thank
morning
you.
to everyone.
All right, good morning.
And Diamond FM staff and the phone are good tidings. This person is from airport.
All right.
It's a very welcome idea. This ministry is there before, under Ministry of Agri.
All right.
It's just, it seems to me like duplicating the ministry. And we are greeting the president for this new step. But what we want the president to hammer on is that how are they going to put the people that will work very well? Because this time around, we need food. So how they are going to manage it? And people will be sincere to handle this new ministry.
Maybe the president should establish Ministry of Food.
And all is well. But we are still greeting Mr. President and all the governors.
All right.
But what I'm saying is that they should please try to do the needful. They should do the needful to put security people inside the farm so that the farmers will be able to enter farm.
All right.
So that's what we are expecting Mr. President to do now.
All right.
The new ministry is welcome, and we pray that it will be handled well.
All
May
right.
God
Thank
bless
you so
us.
much. Thank you
Good
so
morning.
much, Prophetess. Thank you for your call.
We will soon have Ministry of Tomato.
A lot of people seem to be calling for the security to be beefed up as one of the issues.
Yes, it's not just about provision for that location for rearing animals. It's just the farmers needs to be protected too. The only reason why they are getting out of the bush or the forest is because they are not safe. And if their safety is not ensured, nobody is going back.
All right. We go on a quick break. Keep your reactions coming in via SMS or WhatsApp 0913-655-6864. Do stay with us. Do not touch the dial.
Dìde kára ó lè. Dìde kára ó lè. Ó yá lé dànù orí fífọ́, lé dànù ara ríro, lé dànù òtútù ibà, lé dànù. For fast relief of cold pain, fever and headache. Dìde kára ó lè kókó.
Ẹ sọ fún ẹ̀fọ́ ní òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro kí wọ́n kán lùgbó one time. Kára ó lè ti dé o. Àgbáwọlé ní tíṣẹ́ ni àkàwọ́lẹ̀ ń tè kan. Koríko tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti tẹ òtún gbérí mọ́. Dìde kára ó lè lúbúlúbú funfun pẹ̀yìn rúkù sarajọ mẹ́ra yágágá. Àjàká kò tí sọkọ fún ẹ̀fọ́ ní òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro lágọ̀ọ́ ara. Káì! Kàsàkàsà knockout. Agbára ju agbára lọ. Dìde kára ó lè jagunla bí olùgbòǹgbò gàjàtọ̀ ara jàtọ̀ kẹtìlẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ìlúra kẹgbà. To Yield Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi kápò oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Bára rẹ̀ ò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Má ṣàfihàn o, kàn sí dókítà rẹ̀.
Neka, I need capital to grow my business, but getting a loan is not easy.
Emeka, have you heard of Advanced Nigeria? They are not your typical microfinance bank. They make accessing loans easy with competitive rates and flexible requirements.
Really?
Yes, they offer loans up to 150 million naira, a mobile banking app, and USSD for easy transactions.
Emeka visited Advanced Nigeria and was amazed by the fast and convenient application process. Visit Advanced Nigeria or call 7000-238-267 now.
Diamond FM, your one-stop dial.
Welcome back from that break. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show reaching you from our studios, Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. Before we went on that break, we took a look at the creation of the new Ministry of Livestock Development by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. We've had lots of reactions as regards that, and we're still taking some more. However, we need to quickly move on to the second issue for the day. The House of Representatives in Nigeria has passed for second reading a constitutional amendment bill aimed at reserving additional seats for women in both the national and state houses of assembly. This bill was sponsored by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Kalu. It serves to address the significant underrepresentation of women in Nigeria's legislative bodies. According to statistics, women made up only 6.4%, 6.1%, and 2.7% of the Senate, and 6.4%, 3.05%, and 4.7% of the House of Representatives, that is in the 7th, 8th, and the 9th assemblies, respectively. This bill proposed to reserve one seat per state and the Federal Capital Territory in the Senate, and House of Representatives 3 seats per state in the House of Assembly, specifically for women. These measures aim to ensure that women have active participation in legislative processes and improve gender equality in governance. The bill also includes provisions for periodic reviews of this particular bill every 16 years. What do you make of this particular passing of this bill, and what is the implication of this? How practicable is this at the grassroots level?
I know you're happy about this kind of bill.
I'm excited because we've been calling for that 35%.
I know because definitely one way or the other, there are certain seats that will be reserved for women, and then if you are not that many to compete for it, it will be an opportunity for those that have that zeal to serve their country. You see, you will notice that we have our different strengths, especially God that created men and female cannot be, without having a particular reason for doing that, because of whatever the man lacks, that's what the woman will take up as strength.
All right.
And if you compare Nigeria to other countries of the world, it's unfortunate that maybe because of our African nature, we tend to, put women at the back. I want to replicate what Buhari said, that they are meant for the kitchen. You see, nowadays as a teacher, I noticed that in classroom, if you have 20 students, academically, and you try to assess them to see how good they are, you will see that the rate at which girls are leading in schools now, even at secondary and tertiary level, is alarming. Meaning that the trend of men coming to rule with their strength is already getting down, and paving way for women to also come on board and prove themselves. Just of recent, the last election in the US, we have about 7 Nigerians elected, and 6 out of those Nigerians are female female candidates. So, which is an indication that the woman world now should be given opportunity to participate in politics. Right. I want to see that bill as a welcome arrangement. It's just that they should look at it very well, because there will be some loopholes where at the end of the day, they call for periodic review of that
every 16
I hope
years.
the periodic review is not upward review of the numbers of women. At the end of the day, we will now not have a space for men to sit
will
again.
it be a bad thing to have more women
In the government?
Yes, in government.
Well, there's still some implication to that, because if I will have to now be the one to stay at home and look after the children, when you go about following politicians, it has some implication too. But it's just that we cannot run down the fact that women also have a lot of things to contribute. Maybe they will even have the art of this country in terms of stealing the public fund. Men are desperate now. I'm not saying women are not too, but I think there's also this sort part of women that are always motherly, that are not that guyish in terms of a closing eye on the cries of people, especially when things are really bothering. It's just that we have had cases in Nigeria where we have women leading and they messed up the post. This is what I was saying when everybody was agitating for let the youth
not too young to
not too run too young and all that. We have a lot of opportunities given to a lot of youth members in Nigeria, and then they mess up. I think that's why we should commend the effort of the Kwara State government, especially in the inclusion of women in government. I see that one clearly as something that we should thank him for. In fact, a student of mine, a former student of mine, who was also part of the government, is already in the Guinness Book of Record as the most consistent commissioner, having living one ministry to the other. She has always been retained by the governor of the state. This is a welcome address. I mean, welcome development. It's just that, like the review, I will also like them to put some clauses that will also limit the excessiveness of they are coming to power, because if we are looking at the political field, we should also not forget the home front.
Okay, yes. So that's the angle you're coming at this from, because for some people they would say it's not a bad idea to have more women in the house, even if it's an upward review. It will be a welcome idea for some people, but you are looking at it from the societal front, and the home angle as well. All right, let's take some reactions on this particular one. We'd also be taking a look at the practicability of this bill at the grassroots. How acceptable will this bill be, and do we have more women coming out now that Dr. Olaifa has said that he sees a lot of women showing signs or traits of taking over or also coming into the political space? But do we have a lot of women still showing what do we call it now, interest now, yes, in politics at this point in time? Of course, as much as they're giving women more representation, we cannot just go pick somebody from our home. It has that woman has
willing to serve.
Exactly. Now, do we have more women showing interest?
The problem. Let me take it like this too, because of my experience at the university level. In those days, during my own time, you hardly see women coming for president of a faculty or department or SUG. Now, you go to other universities, you have a lot of women coming. And the last president of Faculty of Education at Alikman University was actually a lady. And in fact, she was unopposed because people were scared to go against her, because if you see the stuff, you will know that this person has the stuff. We have brilliant women like that. People like Konjo Uwela, the likes of the brilliant women that we have in Nigerian history. We have a lot of them that are being quiet like that, because they feel that coming out to fight against a man in a society like ours is a bit difficult. And with this bill, the confidence will be there that the slot is already on ground. If I'm going to go against anybody, it's going to be against a fellow woman, and then the best and will always be on ground to serve the country. I just want to believe that this bill will be a very good encouragement on their part, something that will push women to now say, okay, let me come and do something for my country. We have a lot of them that are brilliant, resourceful, very, very, sharp female that can come back to. But I'm always saying this: there's a nature by which God created women, and there's no way we can run away, from it. That nature is homely, and if we now have an upward review every time, we now have a lot of women want to come out, then the society will be up down. That's what I'm saying, that the home front, no way will be affected if we have more. Now, okay, let me give an analysis. If we have one senators from each state, just like the bill is proposing, we now have, it means we now have 36 or 37 from that of Abuja, right? We will now have 37 senators and close to close to probably, I don't know the number of House of Assembly members that we now have now. Now look at the home front where all of them will live. It means, if they are still young, their husband will be affected, their home,
But some are doing it and they still find a way to balance.
It's difficult. It's difficult, Auntie. It's difficult. There's no way you will leave your home. You are a mother. It's difficult. Even the work is taxing on your part in terms of getting close, getting to know your kids very well. I'm a teacher. I know what a lot of parents don't know their kids. A lot don't know their kids. They don't know them. They just assume that this is my kid because they put up a particular behavior, when you are there with them. But when they get to school outside or within their friends, there's something else.
All right. Let's take some reactions. I'm sure some people would like to say something to that. But for the women, there should be a way to balance this. There should be a way to have, a work-life balance, as we like to call it. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, more wisdom.
Good morning. Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm so happy for this session. This is Professor Yodele. Even I'm expecting Mr. President during his own tenure at the 10th year a female supposed to be deputy Senate president. In the state House of Assembly itself, a female supposed to be deputy. In the 10th rank, a female supposed to be deputy. Now our dream is coming that they are recognized us. If you see the election period, we women stand to vote. Go to the drawing board. You will see. But my target of 7. Maybe I be a Senate president. In Jesus.
All right, all right. Amen. That's a prayer that we all look forward to. It will be nice to have a female president
Bisola, will
in
you be
this
contesting?
country.
Will you be contesting?
I wouldn't mind if they would give me a chance. Because it's also very difficult to get to that level as a woman. But, well, never say never. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yemi Asaju is calling again.
All right, go ahead, sir.
You see, women should not, I am not opposed that women should be given position.
Okay.
But they should not be given position because they are women. But they should be given position because they merit it. And they should be made to fight for it. Thank you.
All right. So women should be given a fair chance. And that's something some people are also talking about. Instead of reserving certain
just
seats
because,
or particular seats.
Any woman can just come in.
Exactly. Let the woman compete with her male counterpart as well.
Who is ready to work.
Exactly.
Not just, we have reserved this post for you. You are coming like that because you are female. No.
All right.
That's what Mr. Asaju is saying.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? All right. Go ahead, sir.
Let me take it from where Mr. Asaju just dropped it. If we're saying a senator should come from one state, are we saying every party that fields their candidate, this is an elected office. Let's say for Kwara North, Kwara Central now, a male has won the ticket, has won the election in Kwara North. Are we going to force
the South to produce a female?
To produce a female.
When we have a candidate as a male, that's better.
Which are loopholes. Meanwhile, when we were talking of all these things, we should be looking at the problems that can come with it. Today, I always say it, I'm one of those advocates. Today, we have a lot of broken homes because we want to open our eyes. When we're considering olden days marriage and today's marriage, I prefer olden days marriage. Because we want to copy the white. Let us give the women chance. There are a lot of ways we can pamper women, but not when things are hot. Let us look at it critically. That's one. Secondly, do you know how much it costs us to maintain a ministry? A country that is complaining that we don't have money, we don't have money, and we are blocking our ministries every now and then, and you want us to believe we don't have money. Our politicians should be careful of what they are toying with. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your reaction. 09136556952. That is the number to call, or 08000887887. When you do call in, please make it as short as it can be. Hello.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
I'm Bamidele.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Happily enough, Mr. Yemi Asaju has spoken like a statesman, and the man spoke after him. You don't need to vote because based on gender, it should be on merit. That's number one. Number two, that should better left to parties. You can put it in partition. Because like the other man said, if they say women must be in something, and I saw a male counterpart who is better than that woman, will I be forced to vote for that female? Because it's in the constitution. So if they allocate in the respective parties, they will ensure women will have merit. And like your guest said, we are not saying I know there are some parts in the country with this constitution will never work there based on religion. You understand?
All right.
Even myself, I'm not anti-women, but I can't see myself, my wife leaving me to go and stay in Abuja while you are growing up. It's not possible. Women have a lot of responsibility. They should face that responsibility. They are the first teacher. And that is why now, because women are struggling with men over money and career, that's why we have a lot of this problem. This is insecurity.
All right,
because women are teachers. They are better I'm not saying they should not work, but leaving husband to go to Abuja to go there. I mean,
but the husband can go with her, Mr. Bamidele. Are you trying to say that women are better in the home than in places where they can make impact?
Are you not working?
I am
working now. I'm not against that. I have all my children except one. They are female and they are well educated and they are working. But working your husband environment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bamidele.
Thank you, Mr. Bamidele. Will come if you try it.
Thank you so much. Now, this is a conversation that people have mixed reactions on, especially the fact that a lot of people are saying that this would affect the home front. Yeah. And some are also saying that women
and the implication of that on the society is going to be huge. It will not be immediate, but it's going to be huge.
All right.
You see, I know a lot of politicians that are female like that, and the way they go out and participate in party activities, it takes grace for the husband who is patient, and the children who are grown up, who can fend for themselves, to stand on their own without mommy being around. And you see, it's not a game for women like that, except if you are independent and you are not under the control of a man, especially the one that loves you. My wife will not be a politician. That's what I know for sure.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Alaji Ulu.
All right. Alaji Tai in a few seconds.
I don't want to bother myself much about this because some people have said a lot of things. But what I want to say is that you see, our legislators, we don't just begin to sponsor bill on impulse. Because we want to hear your you can start to get up if I said it. How much of it are fully implemented? And we are now talking about making a place for women. Then, like the said, already our women are working and they are contributing to the home front. So the fact that if they are elected into office, it affects the home front. That to me is a misnomer.
All right.
Because many women are working already, like in the studio now, you are a woman. The other thing is that it's good that women work so that it will not affect their family upbringing, the children upbringing. But now, when they come out to sponsor this kind of bill, to me, it's a waste of time. There are a lot of things to be done in this country that don't such things. Because there's definitely an issue of national campaigns. I don't know the people who are advising the government. We have Ministry of Agri. Why can't they create a department under that ministry to take charge of this? Is it not still agricultural sort of the elections they are talking about? And again, it just after that, some people somewhere we just wake up and they begin to write proposals and give to government without properly producing this and scrutinizing it. Is this so right at this time? Is this what we need at this time? All right. All this kind of should be properly scrutinized. All right. And you have problems that all these bits are talking about.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alaji Tai.
See, the problem about this is that those that would actually advise the government, especially those in power, they are also politicians, people who have interest to protect. And with this, they will always bring on table something that will bring a benefit to the party members or public themselves. And that's why it's a no for me. Right. For the women, for example, we can have deputy, governor reserved. We can have deputy speaker reserved. Those ones are things that are party affairs. You don't have to vote for it. Whoever is the governor can bring along whoever is going to be the deputy. But to now say that senators have to be, one Senate seat has to be reserved, especially how do you get women in Kano to come out and be in politics? How do you get women in Sokoto? How do you get women in all those areas where, religions, restrict activities of women like that. So we should look at all those
and that's why we talked about the practicability of such a bill at the end of the day. Let's quickly move on to the third one, and this one is very crucial to a lot of us Nigerians. The Nigerian House of Representatives has tasked its Committee on Petroleum Resources, Downstream and Midstream with investigating the resurgence of fuel queues and broader issues in the petroleum sector. This action followed the motion by Representative Bill Osawaru, emphasizing the need for a forensic investigation into the challenges affecting the sector, including high fuel costs, unavailability, distribution disruptions, allegations of racketeering, and so many others. Now, the committee will probe various issues such as license issuance, refinery rehabilitation delays, and the importation of substandard products. This is one that the House of Representatives is working on at this point in time. However, the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, have urged President Bola Tinubu to investigate the allegations by Aliko Dangote that the IOCs, that is the international oil companies, are sabotaging the Dangote refinery by withholding crude supplies and inflating prices. These are two issues that are coming alongside, and this issue raised by the Dangote refineries has been, we've been talking about it for the past few weeks now, and it's been an issue. Now PENGASAN is also seeking for a probe into what is going on. What is your take on this particular one? Before
I think I was the first person that was invited for this issue on this very station 3 weeks ago or so, and one of my recommendations was that the National Assembly, as that body that is established to create law for the country and see to it that the executive gets it implemented, should come up with an investigating panel to see that these allegations put forward by the general manager of Dangote Group Company, are they true? If they are true, those perpetrating this evil should be put to order, to be questioned. And in fact, this is the best news I've ever gotten in recent time, especially about Tinubu's government. When there's a problem, the best thing to do is to come up, with a committee and do it. But I guess I bet to be, maybe I will be wrong. You will see that the report of that committee will be next to nothing in the next few days. Well,
let's be optimistic.
Well, I'm optimistic, but it's just that who are the members of this committee that are going to investigate this issue? Are they people of integrity? Would they give Nigerians what Nigerians want to hear?
But there are people we have elected into.
Well, that is the problem. That exactly is the problem. Can there be an open session in the National Assembly for these things, and where they allow people to contribute to their findings, and they will come out to say their findings after their investigation, whether forensic or not forensic? I just want them to be thorough with it, and then when they are done, let them come back and tell Nigerians what exactly is the case. Is it that the Dangote Group of Company are lying to us, or probably those people are the one perpetrating those evil? Then what suggestions should if they are afraid to take you see, one thing I don't like about this our system is the fact that when you are doing one government, you are still expecting another term. And with that expectation, you don't want to step on some toes. You are afraid that this person is a big slot in his so it will affect me in my second term. If it's a one-term street, I don't care who is affected or not. If anything has to be done, it has to be done well. So if these people can do a thorough job, I don't see, in fact, this is the right step and the right direction. If they can do the thorough job and then come up with an open session for people to contribute and say, okay, this is what we saw on ground, and what do you suggest that we can do to it? And then people will suggest that they will implement it. This country will be good for it. We cannot continue to be on the same spot. We'll take one step forward and then we'll take 10 steps backward, and then we are still going to look for another solution. Somebody cannot come from outside and be dictating for us how we do our crude oil. It's uncalled for. When I said it the other time, Abamdele was one of those people that was questioning the integrity of even the Dangote Group of Company too. And when I gave it a second thought too, I was like, it's true. But the truth is that if we at least test him this time, investigate this case and say, okay, what is it really true that he is buying crude oil from abroad instead of getting the local crude oil from Nigeria? Is it true that they are sabotaging the air prices? Is it true that they are bringing substandard products in diesel to the country when he can produce the one that is internationally accepted? If all those things are true, we cannot judge Dangote because of his past. We have to at least look at what is happening currently and then look at what we can do.
All right. Thank you so much. I wish we could take more reactions on this particular topic, but my counterparts would continue with it tomorrow on the Diamond Breakfast Show. This is where we call it today on the show. We had a good time talking about issues affecting us as a people, as Nigerians. Thank you so much, Dr. Olaifa Adesheko Sunday, for coming on the program. Thank you to everyone who called in to express themselves at one point or the other during the course of the program. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. Like how we say, let's continue to be patriotic Nigerians. Let's do the right thing as at when due. Have a lovely day.
The Access Holdings rights issue is now open. For every 2 ordinary shares in your portfolio, take advantage of the chance to acquire 1 more at 19 naira 75 kobo each between 8th of July to the 14th of August 2024. We're inviting you to take up your rights in full